Finding the lowest common multiple with Adam Maths Tutor. Here are the beginner questions, some of the easiest questions that you're likely to find on this topic. We need to find the lowest common multiple of 4 and 5. To do this, we'll first need to start by listing some of the multiples of 4 and 5. The multiples would be the numbers that appear in the times table. So starting with 4, my next multiple of 4 would be 8. The next would be 3 times 4, which is 12, followed by 16. Do a few before switching to the other number and completing the first few multiples for this one. 5 times 2 is 10. The next multiple would be 15, followed by 20. Now that we have some of the multiples listed, we need to find the one that's the lowest common one between the two of them. You can see we don't have any common multiples listed at the moment, which means I'll need to continue with my lists. Carrying on from 16, my next multiple would be 20. And now you can see that I have a number that appears in both lists, which means that they're common, and that number would be 20. So the lowest common multiple is 20. On to the next question. A common misconception is that people think you can find the lowest common multiple just by multiplying these two numbers together. In the first example, 4 multiplied by 5 does in fact give us 20. But let's work through the next example, starting with listing some of the multiples of 15, 30, 45, 60. Next, moving on to 20, 40, 60. Here we can see the lowest common multiple between these two numbers is 60. If we used the logic of multiplying the two numbers together, we would have got 300, which is obviously not the same as 60. So you won't be able to find the lowest common multiple just by multiplying the numbers together. Listing them and looking for the first time you see a number that's common in both lists is the safest way to do these questions. On to the intermediate questions with a slight increase in difficulty. It is possible to find the lowest common multiple of more than two numbers. In this example, you can see we have 6, 9 and 12. Starting with some multiples for 6, 12, 18, 24. Doing the same for 9, 18, 27, 36. You can see we have an 18 that's common between these two numbers. However, we also need to include 12, and the lowest common multiple will need to be a multiple that's common between all three lists. 24, 36. Now I can see 36 appears in two of those lists. It would be worth continuing the first list to see if 36 does also appear in that list. 30, 36. Therefore, the lowest common multiple of 6, 9 and 12 is 36. On to the next question. Adam and Luke are running around a small circular track. It takes Adam 10 seconds to run one lap and Luke 12 seconds. If they both start from the same point on the track at exactly the same time, how long will it be before they next cross the line together? So we have two numbers provided. It's talking about when they will cross the line together, which is referring to being common to both. And then use of the word next implies that we're looking for the lowest time that this happens, or the lowest common multiple. Starting with multiples of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and multiples of 12, 24, 36, 48, 60. Continuing with the multiples of 10, the next one would give me 60. Therefore, the next time that they cross the line together would be after 60 seconds, which if we wanted, we could write as 1 minute. On to the advanced questions, some of the most difficult questions that you're likely to find on this topic. Sometimes we're asked to find the lowest common multiple of larger numbers. Writing down a list of multiples for these large numbers may prove tedious, very time-consuming, and increase the likeliness of you making a mistake. There is an alternative method that can be used for finding the lowest common multiple, which involves finding the product of prime factors first. The product of prime factors was covered in a previous video in this playlist. Finding the prime factors of 132 and starting off with 2 multiplied by 66, 2 multiplied by 33 and 3 multiplied by 11. Repeating the same for 84, 2 times 42, 2 times 21, 3 times 7. Write these as an unsimplified product or multiplication. So for 132, I have 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 11. And for 84, 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 7. You look for the prime factors that are common to both. We have a pair here, which is 2. We also have a pair here, so multiplying by another 2. And we have a pair here, so multiplying by 3. This number will provide you with your highest common factor, and we can use this by multiplying by all of the prime factors that are remaining to give you the lowest common multiple. So multiplying by 11 and multiplying by 7 will give me my lowest common multiple between 132 and 84, which is 924. For the last question, we're finding the lowest common multiple of A and B. The numbers A and B have not been provided in the same format. Instead, they have already given you simplified versions of the product of prime factors. If we use these to write unsimplified versions, then we should be able to answer it in the same way that we did the previous question. So A would be 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 5. And B would be 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 7. Looking for pairs that I can match together, I have 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3. Again, this number will provide you with the highest common factor, but to get the lowest common multiple, you need to multiply by all of the remaining prime factors, 2, 3, 5, 5, and 7, meaning my lowest common multiple would be 12,600. Here's a question that I've completed. It appears as though I've made some mistakes. Pause the video, let's see if you can find them, and comment on what they are or some corrections below. Thanks for watching. If you found that video useful, don't forget to hit the like button and leave a comment. If you're struggling with topics or finding maths difficult, subscribe and turn on notifications to receive regular updates about new video tutorials and other useful content. You can visit and follow all of my socials by clicking the links in the description below.